We're about to teach the next phase, which is long reining. Okay, well, long reining requires you to have either a roller, or I just use a stock saddle. It's fine. So you're going to use a saddle anyway, so you might as well use one. So back, mate. Everything's a learning opportunity. Even moving him to position. Back, good boy. And then drop the rope on the ground there. You want to teach him to stand still where the lead rope is. There's your saddle blanket. There's your saddle. I'm deliberately not precious around horses. Like, I'm just going to whack this on. I don't want to be one of those people who's like, oh, careful, quiet around the horse. Because who's ever quiet around the horse if things are going on, walking down the street? You got to live in reality. So, whack it on, and the horse has to deal with that, right? Good. And all I would have done if he'd moved is give that a tug. So a little tug release becomes your correction tool. Okay, so you whack your saddle on. That's going on. Straighten things up. Make sure there's no twists in there. Obviously, you do everything up with horses. You do them up on the left. Okay, hey. I didn't say... I'm being very lenient by letting him move that much. Here, come here. Stand still. There. Good. All right. So, see, this is only about the second time he's had a saddle on. So it's fairly early days. Oh, second time with me, the girls have been doing it as well. Mate, I didn't say, see, correction. So back to where you were. Here, mate, here. Good, now stand still. This, calm, this is cool, so don't move. Horses will always gravitate to where, here, lift this foot. Good work. Horses will always gravitate to where it is most comfortable for them. So make what you want to do the most comfortable thing in town. Okay, so I'm just doing up this strap. Good. Good. When you're saddling up anyway, you should always stretch the front leg. So I'm going to ask for this foot. Up. No, I want the foot, mate. I'm not going to... So what you do is you kind of annoy them until they comply. Good boy. I'm just stretching it out so the hair doesn't get caught beneath the girth. Good boy, that'll do. Obviously the same thing from the other side. Here, up. See how he picked it up? He's learning to pick it up. Great. Done. Now, next level. What you do, you just say, good. Okay, well, see that little strap puts pressure beneath the jaw and straight away does the right thing, he gets release. Great. Okay, next level. I'm going to put some weight, 25 kilo weights on the back. I separate them because I can't lift 50 kilos by myself, so I do 225s. Now you want to have everything lined up, otherwise it could get a bit dodgy. All right. I'm not going to worry about he's flicking something over there. Hey, don't move too much, mate. Don't move. Hey. You want to have these nice and opposite each other, like a bit of distance. Otherwise, I mean, I'm just speaking from experience. You have them too high, they'll fall over like a deck of cards. Okay, that'll do. And then let one go this way. Okay, good. So there's your weight, because what you're doing is you're giving the equivalent is what he's going to get eventually. Sorry, this is a bit... Hey. I made that a little bit short. I guess I'm demonstrating by the roughness with which I'm doing it. It doesn't have to all be perfect, okay? You're teaching the horse to be in reality, okay? Good. And then what I do is I put that like that, I take the end of that strap, I go around the other side of the weight, and then I'm going to pull that through the other side, and I can just keep it nice and stable, like so. See, like so. Good boy. Whoa, whoa. Good boy. So all I'm doing here is just tying that off. Okay, so you've got that, you see. And there's your horse. Now you want to try them out before we put the long reins on. Just check it's all working okay by leading. You want to have at least a 12-foot lead rope. That's why the rope whisperer comes with a lead rope 12 foot, because anything shorter is too close, okay? So here we are. Yeah, he's moving fine, no problem. No problem. Okay, great. Let's pop our long rein. Let's pop our long reins on. Now I find I've just worked out roughly about 36 foot of rope is what you need to have safe long reins. Here's how I do it. I take the rope whisperer lead rope off. I just put that around there and I tie it up what's called safety reins. A half hitch there and a half hitch there. Done. Then I get this and I just run this through some part of the saddle up here, you see. And then down there through the hackamore there. And then the other side, I put over, okay. Now I'm just going to feed this through my saddlebag, but you could use a clip. I sometimes use a clip here, fine. Anyway, you drop this down here, this side of the hackamore, other side, then you tie the two ends of the rope together, and that becomes a bit like a Matilda itself, you see, because that's going to put pressure beneath the jaw there when you're doing your long reining. And then you're here, then you gather up your reins, and you go behind them, and you say, see, you're over here. There we go, there's our steering. No, I want you this way, mate. No, don't come this way. Good, good boy. Okay. Okay, good. So now I've got a bigger area. Okay, let's have a look. Walk on. Good boy. There's your walk on. Good boy. Now, he's just going to get used to walking around. Walk on. And you see, when he's doing the right thing, he gets zero pressure. See that? Zero pressure. You're just starting to teach him that left is left. So here's left. He's coming in towards you. Hang on, I'll bring him away from me. Hey, get up. Hey. Walk on. There's your, that's your quote unquote correction. It's just waving your rope around. Good. That's it. So we're not going to teach this horse to be dependent upon a bit. You don't need all that harshness. Just pressure release. Pressure release. Walk on. Good boy. Good. Now let's go this way. Good. Little tug on the right hand side. Beautiful looking horse, isn't he? See, horses will always gravitate to what's most comfortable. Horses are brilliant at doing, in management terms, you'd call a cost-benefit analysis. He's working out the cost of him mucking around now and resisting me. There's a cost to that. And then there's a, well, then come off the fence, mate. And then a benefit for just walking on when I say walk on. Equally, when I say the word whoa, I won't touch it until now, right? Because he's settled in, see? That gets a pat. Good boy. Let's do it again. Off my voice. Walk on. No, that way. Walk on. Gee, they're smart. Good boy. Walk on. Good. And whoa. Good. Another pat. walk on. Okay, walk on, walk on. Hey, walk on. We'll come around, we'll put some more things on him. So there's no end to things you can put on there. Like I've even over the years, I've used giant teddy bears, those blow up things you see sometimes at sales. I'm about to use a pool noodle. Walk on, mate. Because you want to expose them to all the things that's going to happen when you ride them. Because I'm not interested in being a great big bronco rodeo rider. I want all that stuff taken out of them on the ground. So for example, let's have a look at this. Good boy. You can say, righto, well, let's put some flapping, because, you know, sometimes people wear rain jackets, don't they? You know, on a windy day. So put that on him. Okay, you're going to be about, let's have a look from this tall, you know, it's about the height of my head. So I'm going to whack that up there. There we go. So we've got the height, we've got the flapping. Don't step on the rope, mate. Walk forward. Walk on. Good. Good boy. Good. So you want to have about that distance. You want to be absolutely out of any kicking distance. Walk on. Good. So we're exposing him now to 50 kilos of weight plus the saddle. What's that? About 70 kilos. You got the pool noodle. You got the flapping canvas. Walk on. And then what you want to do is you want to do a faster speed because things go jingle jingle. Let him experience that without me on him. Okay, let's have a look. Trot, 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 hop, hop, trot, trot, hop. Good, trot. Good. A little bit of inside rein pressure. Good boy. Trot. So I'm not. If I was lunging him, I could stand there and go. But I've got a long rein on here. That's why I was running. That's why I was running just then. But you're just teaching him. So let's do some sharp turns. Let's walk into the fence. This is the beginning of a roll back. No, back, roll back. Roll back. Good boy. And then off you go. Trot, trot. Good boy. Oh. Whoa. Okay, other way. Good. Trot, 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 trot. Good boy. And whoa. Good boy. That'll do. That'll do. That'll do. Like, seriously. Take your wins. Like a short, sharp little training session like that. He's learned a heap. In fact, he's going so well. If I was really up for it, I would hop on right now. You know what? I'll put my weight on him, but I'm not wearing a helmet. I'll just put my weight on him, okay? It just takes time. Like, this is where he's at. The other horse over there, he's not here yet. So I'm not gonna put my leg over him, but I will, you know what? I'll just put some weight on him. Okay, so we're here. Come over to the barrel, mate. Walk on. No, not that way. So he's very responsive, and we haven't even taught him leg aids yet. Well, we have, sorry, we've done yielding, but we haven't done it on the horse. That'll do there. Whoa, whoa. Lovely looking horse. Okay. Good. Good. So I'll get control again of my 12-foot lead rope. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Just taking that off. You always want to have control of your horse's head one way or the other, right? Otherwise, you are asking for trouble because they can spin around, you know, and things can go pear-shaped. So you want to mitigate that risk by having control of their head one way or the other. So I'm taking the long reins out now, so that's done. That's done. Taking these weights on and off is a bit awkward, I acknowledge. I use a barrel, that blue barrel there. Now I'm going to literally flick that off. I'm going to put myself away from where it flicks. Hey, hey.